you know, whatever you
Senor,
want.
Senor Carbonell,
Carbono, Senor Carbonell, Steven.
Senor Steven,
Yeah, that works
Estefan.
too. That works too. I did have during the homecoming parade today, which was excellent, by the way. I did have one of my son's friends yell at me in Spanish, Esteban, ¿qué tal? So you know, it was exciting to reach my hand out the window and say hello in Spanish to my little boy's friend.
I love that. Well, tonight we're looking forward to a great matchup. Holbrook coming in 3-1, coming off of a big win last week where they traveled up to Page. A long drive, but well worth it when you come home with a big win like that. Pinyon, I don't think they've been able to play their whole section of games this year. They're coming in 1-1. Pinyon ready to kick off the opening kickoff as they kick it right to left, and it's going to bounce out of bounds right at the 30-yard line, which is a penalty in football. And so they're going to have to work that one out. Holbrook will have a couple options where they decide to take the ball. Looks like they're not going to make them re-kick, and they're going to they're going to make it from the 30-yard line. Apparently one of the Holbrook players touched it, because if one of the Holbrook players does touch it before it rolls out, then there's no penalty on that play. Holbrook wearing a new jersey. Steven and I up here just talking right now about how much easier these jersey numbers are to read tonight. We're excited for that. New red jerseys with the white numbers and the all red helmet for the Roadrunners. Makes you remember the old saying, go big red. First play of the game, pass, had a man open, just a little overthrown, but I love that coming out hot. Holbrook showing the pass with Marcus Overrider taking that first shot. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Roadrunner 30-yard line. Looking like a full house out here tonight with fans still streaming in again at homecoming right here in front of the press box. They have it marked off for the homecoming classes that are having their class reunions here at this reunion.
Small Town USA.
Small
right?
Town USA. Someone coming up asking where my daughter is in the middle of it. And there we go. First big run of the game. Could be a Holbrook Roadrunner touchdown. I don't see any flags. We're going to call that touchdown and a spike. Got to be careful there. Izzy Ramos on a big 70-yard touchdown run on the second play of the game. Holbrook taking that quick 6-0 lead with 11:38 to go here in the first quarter. Izzy Ramos has had a big year. It's good to see him getting going early tonight.
Yes, he has. You know, and he's a big boy. I saw him walking around school. You know, I don't know all of the students and players, but I saw him walking around school the other day. He's a big kid.
He's listed at 6'1", 185, and I don't know. That might be under. He's been in the weight room more than that, right? He's been in that weight room a lot more than that, so I think he's probably bulked up past that beginning of the year stat.
I believe so.
Miss snap, couldn't get the hold down, so it's going to be no good on the point after try, but that's okay. Holbrook again up 6-0 with 11:38 to go. So again, homecoming week is always a fun week, especially in small town America. Holbrook being the epitome of small town America. These kids have been partying and working since last week, right?
Yeah, for 2 weeks now.
For 2 weeks now.
2 weeks now, working on the parade floats, working on their airband presentation or performances.
Absolutely. They do a hallway decorating.
All day Saturday last week, there were kids and teachers. Don't forget them.
Don't forget
right?
the teachers.
Kids and teachers in and out of those classrooms and hallways, decorating to the best of their abilities with the materials provided.
With what we have, absolutely. And they did such a great job on everything, and you know, this year kind of had an extra special feel to it because we haven't been able to do it for a year. Last year we didn't get that opportunity to do a lot of these old traditions, and this year the students were so excited to be back in there. Great school spirit shown this week, and as Dr. Korpich always says, once a Roadrunner, always a Roadrunner. We are proud to be Roadrunners this week. There's the kickoff for the Roadrunners. Gets a good bounce, rolls down to the 15 where it's scooped up by the Pinyon Eagles. He's going to get it back about 10 yards, maybe mark it even 12 as he falls forward, but good job from the Holbrook defense getting down there to cover on that kickoff. going to start the Eagles back. They're going to mark it right at the 26-yard line, it looks like.
You know, one of the advantages that you see already that Holbrook has is the size of the team, meaning the quantity of players that we have, right? We look right now kind of like what we did in years past against other teams.
Absolutely.
You know, so we're familiar, and I kind of feel bad.
Sure.
But at the same time, that maybe this is a testament of the type of work that the coaches and the players themselves have done in putting together a football team.
Yeah, when you look at that far sideline, I remember coaching teams like this. And if you want to know how many players you have on the field, you don't count the players on the field. You count how many are on the sidelines, because it's a lot easier to count 4 on the sideline, or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the sideline versus the 11 on the field.
Right.
So you know this Pinyon team is going to be playing both ways, offense, defense, special teams, with little room for rest. And so we're hoping for the best for this Pinyon team, but it looks a little outmatched here to start off the game. On their first down, they're going to be dropped for a loss of about 6. Going to put that second and a long 16 back on their own 20-yard line. So Pinyon going to spread out the receivers a little bit, try to spread that Holbrook defense. Holbrook doesn't seem to be biting too much. They're still, you watch their linebackers, they're still creeping to the inside, and that's why they still went ahead to hand off up the middle, and that linebacker that creeped up in there was the man to make the tackle. And we call that decleated him. Gets the shoulder right into his gut and hits him so hard his feet come off the ground. Those cleats come up into the air and drives him into the ground. It's a good tackle for Holbrook, and ooh, those hurt when you're the one being tackled.
Hey, what's amazing about that tackle, I think that was number 10, Marcus Obrighter. He's also the guy throwing the ball most of the time.
That's
too.
right. So Holbrook does play a little both ways as well. We might not see too much of that tonight. You know, when you get up on a team early, sometimes you can give some of your other players a rest and some of your younger guys some opportunities to play. Hopefully we see some of that here on homecoming night tonight. There's that spread offense again. They're at least trying to show a spread offense, but again, handoff right up the middle, this time met by a gaggle of Roadrunners, and he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage, going to bring up 4th and 14 for the Pinyon Eagles. Again, so the Eagles are trying to show that offense. They're trying to, you know, and sometimes as a coach, you think that way. Like, if I spread out these wide receivers to the very edge of the field, at least I'm going to pull some defenders out of there to try to have less defenders to have to beat at the front line.
Right.
But Holbrook's obviously watched film, and they didn't bite. Nobody was dropping back into any kind of a zone coverage there to help cover a wide receiver. They're coming down, packing that box, and it's going to force the Eagles into their first punt of the game, just under 10 minutes to go. You know, one of the schools that we've seen do a good job of recognizing their limitations is Sanders. Oh, and a blocked punt, going to be scooped up and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Let's see if we can catch a number on that. It was on the far side of the field. They're going to call it Izzy Ramos again on that block, scoop, and touchdown. So there you go. The Roadrunners coming out real fast tonight as they take a 12-0 lead pending the point after try. It looks like they're going to line up again and try the point after kick. Not going to go for 2. And this is smart for Holbrook, right? Let's try to, you know you're going to get ahead in this game. There's no need to try to run up the score with 2-point conversions. Work on this kick, right? If you can perfect your kicking game a little more tonight in a game situation, that's better than you can ever get in a practice situation. There's the snap. This time he does get it down. Kick is up. It's low, but it is no good. I'm not sure if it went wide right or wide left. It was high enough. It was barely high enough. It was a low kick, but it would have made it over the bar. And from here, we couldn't really see which side it went to. But that is a miss. But it was an improvement from the first time. The first time they didn't get the snap down. This time it got the snap down and the kick off. Next time, we're going to see it get through there. Let's take some bets on that. Gambling's legal in Arizona right now.
It is, but I don't know about high school football.
Probably not high school.
I didn't read the small print on the laws that were passed, but
hey,
I don't think it. Maybe a Dr. Pepper, right?
There
Bet
you go.
Dr.
Maybe a
Pepper, that might be approved.
I'm thinking in a couple of years we're going to have instead of concessions, the clubs will be making money off of sports books. We're going to set up a bookie there in the concession stands, and the choir is going to make a little extra money off of gambling. Okay, maybe not. Maybe too far. Cheerleaders and the marching band, they play and cheer our Holbrook fight song. A little special note, at halftime today, the band will be playing the fight song, And directing the fight song from afar, she'll be calling in, is the composer of our fight song. She's going to be calling in and directing the band over the phone to celebrate a little bit of homecoming tonight. So a little bit shorter kick for the Roadrunners tonight. Going to give the Pinyon Eagles a little better starting position, as it's going to be caught about the 30-yard line, return of about 6. So the Pinyon Eagles will start this time on their own 37-yard line, but still looking at a 64-yard field in front of them.
You know, and as we start, we've got to recognize a couple of these Pinon players. We've got, you know, it looks like number 5, Jay Haskin. He might be one of the star athletes on that team. So we're going to watch for how often they're having him keep the ball, how often they're having him, you know, hold on to that and maybe try to run, do some things, make some magic there. And from the looks of it, he's one of their bigger, probably more athletic players as well. And here's the snap. He does hand it off to number 24, but he is taken down for a loss with 3 Roadrunners stopping him, I don't know, about 4 or 5 yards behind the line of the scrimmage there. And that was number 24, Ayazi, trying to get some yards, but he's stopped.
They do give him his forward progress, so he's only going to lose 2, but you're right. He was quickly met in the backfield. When you're running that play where they're coming across, you know, in that motion in the backfield, you're trying to get your speed going so that you can hit that corner and get a little break, but there was no corner to get that time. There was, like you said, 3 or 4 Roadrunners waiting for him after that handoff. Holbrook taunting with the blitz a little bit. Looks like they're not going to actually blitz, though. They're going to stick back and wait. Smartly, they wait right about the line of scrimmage, or the original line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up about 4. There is a flag coming from the referee, and it's going to be called a face mask against Holbrook, though. So that is going to give the Pinyon Eagles a first down after they go ahead and mark this one off. And based on the call he made, I believe that's going to be an intentional, a personal foul face mask, not just an inadvertent face mask, but personal foul face mask. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. And that's going to move the Eagles into Roadrunner territory. So for the first time tonight, Pinyon Eagles get a 1st and 10 right at the Holbrook 46-yard line.
And it's a great opportunity for Pinyon to have a good run up the middle by number 5, Jay Haskin, and also to pick up those 15 yards. Right now they're excited. They're ready to go.
You know, Pinyon is looking forward to today. You know, they got a 1-1 record, right? They haven't even got to play much football either. So you know, Pinyon's got to be excited to get out here and actually get a game going. And they're up against tough competition. Holbrook doing so good this year. And Holbrook, you know, we talked about in weeks past how much football is a game of emotion, how much it's a game of momentum. And momentum can go beyond just one game, right? You're carrying momentum through a season. And Holbrook coming off that big win in Page. Page was, you know, circled on there as it could have been a tough competition. Holbrook gets a big win in Page, not just they scored over 50 points in that game. They're going to carry that momentum into this week, plus the added momentum of, you're playing in front of a homecoming, what looks like a sellout homecoming crowd. You know, I mean, there's empty seats. You can come down here, but it's a full stands out here tonight in Holbrook.
Right.
And that gets you excited as a player. That's momentum for Holbrook as well. So Pinyon up against a couple battles. They've been valiant here so far in this game. Even down 12-0, I love to see the fight still in them.
And that's all, as a coach, that's all you can ask in a lot of situations. Whether you're up or down, what you want to see is your players playing till the end of the game. Not giving up, don't hang your heads down low. Just stay excited and get ready for the next play.
Yeah.
Right? Just because we don't win or just because whatever happens, right? The next play could be a really good play, and you learn something each game that you play as well.
And we've said before, you never win or lose a game in the first quarter. So you're learning the other team a lot during this first quarter and a lot of those things. So here we go, Pinyon. Shotgun formation, only one back in the backfield. We're sticking to the same formation that we've seen all night. This time they're going to bring a man in motion, but he's going to get all the way to the other side. He'll get set, waiting for that snap. There's the shotgun snap. going to keep it. Number 5, he gets a opening. He gets a hole on the right side of that line. He's going to plow forward. His best pickup of the night probably for the Pinyon Eagles. There is a flag on the play, though, so we'll wait till this one shakes out a little bit. And it is going to be a holding against Pinyon. Oh, you hate to see that. That was clearly Pinyon's best play of the game so far from scrimmage, and it gets negated due to that holding penalty. So they'll march it back 10 yards from the foul.
And that's one of those very tough ones, right? You gain 7 or 8 yards, and then you're held back. It's negative 17 yards now.
Yeah, you were looking at a 3rd and 3, and now you're looking at a 2nd and 23.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're playing against this tougher competition, mistakes have to be eliminated, right? You almost have to play a perfect game. And but Pinyon, again, I think we're going to see a lot of fight out of them tonight. We'll see what they can answer with here. At least they stay 2nd down for them. They don't have to get all of this back in one play, right? They can, if they're smart here, they can just, you know, try to pick up what they lost on that penalty. Same formation. This time, looks like he's trying to draw Holbrook off sides. Can't do it. Go ahead and take the snap. And he's going to be caught right at the line of scrimmage. A great tackle there by number 22 of Holbrook, Caden Begay. That's not what my sheet says, but that's what the announcer says. We'll go with it. Caden Begay. Oh, Tayton Begay. That's what he said. Tayton Begay. So now we're looking at that 3rd and long at this point. So again, Pinyon was in Holbrook territory after that penalty. Puts them back on their own 41-yard line. Looking at 3rd and a long 20. The clock does continue to tick right now. It's 6:35 to go here in the first quarter. Feels like we should be farther along in the game as well. It's still early in the first quarter at this point. We do have a flag, and that one is going to be called a delay of game against the Eagles. So the back judge back there, his job is to keep track of the time clock. And if you'll watch him back there, sometimes if the clock starts getting close, he'll start to wave his hand. He'll show his hand to let that quarterback know that time's running out. And they like him out in front so the quarterback can look up and see him out there. But sometimes you just lose track of that time as it happens there, and they'll march it back 5 more. And this time going to be an empty backfield. So it looks like the Eagles are going to try to throw out of this situation. And he's got no time. The pocket collapses. He's able to escape, gets out to the outside, but he's only able to pick up about 4 as that pocket collapsed pretty fast. He didn't have any time to try to find an open receiver after the Roadrunners.
And you could tell he was looking for it. He wanted to throw that ball to his one of his receivers out there, and he was trying to give him a chance. But, you know, the defense was just on him. When you're sticking on him like that, you don't want to throw the ball into that coverage and have him run it back for a touchdown.
And you can see, like, right now the offensive line for the Eagles is struggling with the Holbrook defensive line. Holbrook's not even having to blitz anybody to get that kind of pressure. Looks like right now they're rushing a front line of 4. They have a 4-man front, and they're just rushing those 4 up front. And that allowed your backs to actually stay back in pass coverage even. But on this 4th down, they're going to go for it. Oh, no, he's gonna punt it out of that backfield. And it goes kind of sideways. He's going to get a punt of about 5 yards. Maybe they'll give him 6. But foot, he does. You'll see this in high school sometimes when you don't have a true traditional punter. They'll take it and kind of walk 2 steps and kind of kick it sideways, almost like a soccer kick, like you would see a goalie kick from a soccer standpoint. And this time, he had some height behind it, but it just went sideways, went out of bounds. And it doesn't matter where it lands, it matters where it goes out of bounds. So he's going to get a net gain of about 6 yards on that punt. Holbrook will take over 1st and 10, already in Pinyon territory at the 45-yard line.
You know, and I got to say, I watched some of the punts, and I don't get it. Maybe I'm lucky and I learned how to punt a ball, you know, but I wonder if that's something we need to work on in practice for many of these teams.
And there goes Holbrook, first play from scrimmage. He dodges and weaves to the outside. And there's our man, Daniel Montijo, with his first touchdown of the night as he takes it 45 yards and brings that score up to Holbrook 18-0 with 5:02 to go here in the first quarter. And again, when you're a team like Pinyon, when you're playing both ways, you're tired already. You're tired already when the other team gets on offense. You know, a lot of times we're like, you got to give the defense a break. They need time off the field. The defense doesn't get a break when your defense is your offense. So no matter what happens, you're always on the field. And that you kind of saw a little bit of that there. Daniel Montijo with a little bit of fresh legs on offense. And once he got past that first line of attack from the Pinyon Eagles, he was able to take it to the house. Looks like that kick was a little wide, but again, that was a higher kick. Okay, so I said he was going to make it next time. This time he got a little more height under the kick. He has improved every kick. And that score will be 18-0 as we have 5:02 to go. And there we get the fight song again. We as well, because you can start to get overconfident and then start to get lazy in some of the things you do. So it'll be interesting to see how Holbrook responds from this side of a win, of a blowout win as well. We know that Holbrook has always played hard till the end, no matter what, no matter if they're losing or winning. And but tonight's going to be a new one, as it looks like they're going to be blowout early. A good return there for the Eagles there, though, as he shows some skills there for the Pinyon Eagles to dodge a couple tackles, and he's going to bring that ball up to, it looks like, about the 32-yard line where the Eagles start over 1st and 10. Looks like one thing I think is kind of cool right now, it's kind of bad and kind of cool, is if we look at our internet broadcast tonight, we only have 37 viewers, where normally we have at least double that watching. But you know what that tells me?
People are in the stands?
They're in the stands. They made it out to the game to watch tonight. People are excited. Homecoming, too. You know, those people that may have lived far away, they made the trip to Holbrook tonight to watch some exciting football and celebrate their Holbrook Roadrunner heritage and be proud to be a Roadrunner.
I wonder if that guy from Australia flew in.
I hope so.
Maybe he came.
If he did, I hope he comes and finds us.
Yeah.
Come say, he can't say hello. What do they say in Australia?
I don't know.
Hey, matey. If he came, Dwayne said he'd buy him a soda. So Pinyon looking to throw on 1st down. Almost has it intercepted, as it looked like Marcos Oberreiter there in coverage makes a dive after it. Can't quite bring it in, but makes a heck of a play to try to make an interception there on that 1st down throw. I just found a Pop-It in the booth. Whose is this? This is fun.
Your daughter came up and put that on your soda.
Where did she get it?
That I don't know.
Kids these days. So 2nd and 10 for the Pinyon Eagles. After that incomplete pass, it does stop the clock. And again, looking like a long first quarter here. It turns into a long first quarter when you score fast, right? It's those running plays that keep the clock moving. But we haven't had a lot of those to stop the clock. And that's part of the reason why you do a running clock, the mercy rule at some point. And there we go. Quarterback can't find anyone to throw to, so he's going to keep it himself. And he's going to get forward. He's number 5, Joey Haskin for the Eagles. He's going to dive forward. They're going to give him a good 8 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 2. So there we go. I think that might be the Pinyon High School, the Pinyon Eagles, their best play of the night. And thankfully for them, it did not get called back on a penalty.
You know, just like you were talking about the viewership right now, hey, if you're from Pinyon, make a comment on here. Root for your team.
Let us know.
We'll tell everybody who you're rooting for, who you're watching, what you're excited about for them. Tell us a little bit about your athlete so that we can also brag about them and what they're doing, what they're accomplishing both on and off the field.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm rooting for Pinyon tonight as well. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I hope Holbrook doesn't get the win, but we're rooting for student athletes everywhere. We want to see them do a good job. We want to see them be proud of what they put on the field tonight. And I'm rooting for Pinyon too, because I root for the kids out there. And it looks like on that one he's going to fumble. I didn't see the ball come loose, but it only was 3rd down. After that tackle, they the referee's pointing the Holbrook direction, so there must have been a fumble somewhere in that play, and Holbrook will take over 1st and 10 in their own territory once again. Even the crowd sounds a little shocked, like, wait, Holbrook, where did... I'm trying to watch the YouTube replay that we have for ourselves, and I missed it there too. But nonetheless, Holbrook takes over 1st and 10 from the Pinyon 40 or 38-yard line. And he's going to have a pass there. Looking for Izzy Ramos. Got Izzy Ramos as he does a crossing route. And Izzy Ramos again in for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Hat trick for Izzy Ramos. Fire up the band. Holbrook on the board again. 24-0 now with 2:56 to go here in the 1st quarter. I might have to go play the drums with the band at some point tonight. For homecoming, right?
Today for the homecoming carnival, they had the drum duel
again.
Yeah. It was pretty exciting.
That's
We've
awesome.
got a couple of good drummers at our school, and
I
it
love
was
it.
really fun to listen to them.
Hey, if you don't think Drummer's cool, you go watch Drumline, that movie, right? You ever seen Drumline, the movie?
Probably, but
pretty cool.
I don't remember movies.
Oh, there you go. Once again, wide left. Can't quite get it through the uprights, but he did make it into the soccer net. So, you know, that should count for something. Maybe Dwayne will buy him a soda. Said maybe Dwayne will buy him a soda. He didn't make it through the field goal, the goalpost, but he made it into the net.
Maybe Dwayne told him if he misses, he'll buy him sodas. So
Yeah.
right now, he's on 3 sodas.
3 sodas there. So Holbrook.
One of the things that I really hope to see right now, especially from Holbrook, with this kind of lead in the 1st quarter, is I want to see some freshmen, some sophomores, some young juniors, maybe 1st-year junior players out on that field. I don't think it's always necessary to take all of the starters out. You still need leadership. But I really like to see some of these younger players getting some play time as well.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we will see that. I know one of the tough things from a coach's perspective with that is you also have to prepare for next week's matchup, which is against Alchese. Alchese is a tough team. Alchese is full of some big boys. Oh no, number 24 is running the wrong way. Number 24, Anthony Yazzie, he was about 35, a little past the 35-yard line, saw the Roadrunners cracking down on him and decided to try to get around him, turn around and run to the outside, but ended up just running backwards, and he lost about 6 yards. And so that ball is going to be marked back at the 29. They're going to mark it right at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. But yeah, as a football team, you know, you never want to run up the score. You know, and the coach doesn't. He doesn't want to run up the score. You want to have good sportsmanship. But you also have to realize that next week you're against Alchese. The week after that you're against St. John's. You have 2 huge opponents coming up that are going to mean a lot in PowerPoint rankings and playoff potential. And you need your starters to be in shape and know how to finish a game and get as much experience as they can. So there comes this balance. And again, he will play those freshmen and JV players. We're going to see those players out here tonight. They won't run the score up. But just knowing when that moment is to change is a balance, because you're not trying to be a bad sport, but you're also preparing for future opponents.
Right. And you never want to tell your starters, any of these guys, to slow down.
Well, that's when people get hurt.
You do not want to say, take it easy, do this.
No, that's when you get hurt.
You've got to keep playing the game as you play the game.
So here we go. The Eagles taking over 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. 1 man in the backfield with Joey Haskin. Haskin at quarterback. Once again, delay of game. So again, I noticed this kind of a little early. The Eagles were taking their time. The line, everybody gets to the line of scrimmage, and for some reason, Haskin has taken his time to actually snap the ball. I don't necessarily see. There we go. Now the ref is talking to just him. He's like, if you look at that official down there, he's going to wave his hand up in the air for you. Keep your eye on that back judge back there. And, you know, maybe these players don't even know that. You know, it's not a, you know, in the big leagues, there's a big clock counting down for you.
Right.
This big digital clock that counts for you. Here you have to pay attention to this crazy guy in white and black stripes to know when the time's almost up. Once again, swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Going to be tackled for about a yard loss. Going to bring up 2nd and 16 for the Eagles. That Holbrook front line doing its job. They're winning the battle of the trenches tonight. And if you win the battle of the trenches, you win the game 9 times out of 10. I'd even say 99 times out of 100. If you are watching, though, from afar, we do have quite a few viewers online. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Stick around for halftime. Halftime at homecoming is always a great event. We will have the crowning of the royalty. They'll have the marching band performing. The cheerleaders will be performing. And they'll announce who wins homecoming week. I think we usually know who it is, but once again, the quarterback for the Eagles trying to have time to look downfield. Doesn't have any time to even get his eyes downfield. You know, there was only two red shirts back here with 4 white jerseys walking back. But because he was swallowed up so fast in the backfield, he just didn't have time to even look downfield to find the open guy, and there were open guys down there. We do have a player down on the field, though. We always hate to see this.
And not good news for Pinyon. It is number 5. It
quarterback,
is
Joey Haskins.
You hate to see any type of injury in any level of athletics, especially, I think, at the high school level. But also when
your quarterback is the leader of your team.
Star guy.
He's a senior, though. Senior, 5'6", 184 pounds. Hopefully it's just a stinger, something, you know, he can walk off. Football's it's a hard-hitting sport, and sometimes you're hurt and sometimes you're injured. So hopefully it just hurts for a minute, and he can get back out here in this game. Kind of looks like they're rubbing his leg, kind of cramp-esque, you know. It might be a cramp out here tonight, but there he is. He's going to stand up. He is favoring that leg still. Could be a cramp. He's going to have to go off for at least one play. Based on how he's walking, I'm going to guess it's more than one play. Probably won't come back in the series. But it's going to give one of the other Pinyon High School players a chance to step in at quarterback, you know, start looking at their other options at quarterback. Listed, we have number 50, Wyatt Whitehair, as a quarterback, as a junior. We'll see if that's who lines up as quarterback or not. But they do have him listed as the other quarterback on their roster right now.
We need to get that kid some electrolytes, electrolyte pills.
You know, it's
those.
Almost October, but it is still very hot up here. You know, we just came from the valley today, got back from the valley today, and it's in the 90s down there. They wouldn't know it. One of my wife's friends went and bought a caramel apple latte or something. I don't know. Like, what? It's not winter yet. No, I mean, it's still 95 degrees. I'm not drinking hot drinks in the valley yet.
No.
But I guess when it's not 100 anymore down there, you start to feel like it is.
Yeah, I don't think that. Is there a time down there when it's not 95?
Yeah, I don't know. When you're in the pool.
Right?
That's about the only time.
Even then, that sun beats that water, and it's like taking a hot bath a lot of times.
Sometimes it's not refreshing. You're like, you want to jump in the water for it to be refreshing, and it's not as refreshing as anticipated.
And that's when you jump in so you can jump out, and then the wind will cool you off.
Yeah, you're not lying. You're not wrong. Looking at a long third down here after that quarterback sack. Again, let's see that new quarterback. I can't see a number on him quite yet, but we do have a new quarterback in for the Golden Eagles, or just the Eagles, I should say. He's going to take the direct snap, and he's going to keep it to the outside, and can't get to the edge either. He's going to be knocked out of bounds right there at the line of scrimmage. Don't think it was number 50, though, that was lined up as quarterback. We'll see as they come back. Maybe we'll get a better picture of that.
Let's see over there, Mr. Haskin. Joey, right? Took that shoe off, and it's looking like he's got a wrap on that ankle. You wonder if he could have an injured ankle that he's playing on right now. But
he's definitely sitting on the bench and getting looked at by their trainer. Or at least their acting trainer. All right.
Head laid back. He might be taking a nap while she's massaging his leg.
There you go. That's not such a bad idea. He's worked hard so far tonight. Pinyon is going to punt. Holbrook got a return man sitting right at the 50-yard line. It's a low punt, but it gets a better bounce than before. It is going to bounce out of bounds, though, just past the 40. They're going to mark that about the 42-yard line. So once again, Holbrook takes over inside Eagle territory, looking at a 42-yard field in front of him. With 21 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Holbrook leading 24-0. And as they come out, you look down at that line, and Pinyon's got a pretty good-sized line. They got some big boys on that line. The problem is, do they have the speed that Holbrook has? It's not always about the biggest guy on the line. You got to have that combination of size and speed. And right now, Holbrook has shown that they've been able to win on that speed side as well.
Well, you got that, and also the rest, right? Pinyon does not have the opportunity to rest, and we'll probably say that a few times tonight. But when you're when you're 298 pounds, I imagine that's
need a
number
rest.
68, Corey Begay. No, he's 375.
Yeah.
Okay, they've definitely got size.
That's a big boy
on their side, but takes a lot of energy to move that size
It
of
does.
an individual. When you don't have a break,
you're going to get tired.
yeah.
So Mason, right as we go into the end of the first quarter, Mason Archunda listed as wide receiver, but he actually got the carry there for the Roadrunners. He's a sophomore, so there you go. We're starting to see what you talked about, some of those underclassmen moving into some of those position roles already. Not necessarily staying with the starting quarterback, maybe getting some experience in those first team reps, not necessarily committing all the way, okay, second team in. Let's get some younger guys some reps with the first team, which is a whole nother level of practice. And, you never know when you might have a star player go down, just like the Pinyon just saw Joey Haskin go down. Now Joey Haskin, though, I just saw him. He's running back to the huddle. He's favoring his leg a little bit, but he did hustle back to the huddle. So we'll see if we see Haskin here to start the second quarter.
And you like to see the tenacity from that individual coming in, still wanting to be a part of that team. At the same time, if you're limping on that ankle already, if it was my boy, I'd probably say, hey, you got the rest of your life ahead of you. Don't destroy your body.
Not worth this game
for a couple of plays. But I don't know.
All right, I was counting the players. There was 12 men on the field, but number 34 recognized that and he got off quickly. We almost had a little more trouble there for Pinyon as they had 12 men on the field there for a second. But they do get it off, second and short for the Roadrunners. Handoff right up the middle for the Roadrunners. Going to plow forward, going to be right at the sticks. We'll see if they mark it a first down or not. I believe that was Daniel Montijo on the carry. No, number 21.
That was
Caleb Trujillo.
Yep, Caleb Trujillo. He is he's a senior, but he is a newer football player on the Holbrook Roadrunners team, which goes to show, right? Hey, their excitement for this year got a senior to come out maybe for the first or second year as a high schooler.
And he got the first down right there. So a little pass protection holds up there for the Roadrunners. It's going to be a pass over to, you know who it was, say my name.
Izzy Ramos.
For his fourth touchdown of the night, bringing that score 30-0. Right here at the beginning of the second quarter, 11:23 to go here in the second quarter, and the Roadrunners strike again on that completion from our quarterback, Marcus Oberreiter, to his favorite target. I believe it is his favorite target so far this year, Izzy Ramos.
Well, now we switched sides right at quarter, so we'll see if this goalpost favors Izzy Ramos a little more than the other side.
He was pushing it left the other way, so let's see what happens here, right? Oh, he said no good again. He must have pushed it right because it didn't. Everybody in the booth was yelling, he got it, but then the ref said no, he didn't. So 30-0, Holbrook leads. 11:23 to go here in the first half of our homecoming football game as the Holbrook Roadrunners take on the Pinyon Eagles. And we have a great game here tonight for the Roadrunners. We talked about just quickly there. We mentioned how Izzy Ramos is one of his favorite targets. Izzy Ramos is a big kid as well. We talk about a 6 foot, 185 pounds, and that listing even seems small for what he sees. But he's quick, right? And almost every time what they've done on him is just this over the middle route, which is a pretty easy target for Oberreiter. All he has to do is dump that ball, about a 10-yard pass over the middle, where Izzy Ramos is a big target, wide open. And then Izzy Ramos is a big runner. Got yards after the catch, he's able to just put his head down and get forward. And so he's got speed, strength, he's got catching ability. I can easily see why Izzy Ramos is a favorite target.
Right. I know when I was in high school, right, back when dirt didn't exist, they had a program called Bigger, Faster, Stronger. And, if you're bigger, faster, and stronger than your opponent, you're going to win.
Every time.
Unless it's the limbo.
Yeah. So Malachi Johnson actually on the kickoff that time for Holbrook. It's going to be a squib kick. I don't know if it was an intentional squib kick or not, but it stays on the ground, bounces down, and it's going to be scooped up about the 30-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it right at the 30-yard line there for the Eagles to take over with 11:17 to go here in the half.
we are starting to see some more young players come out. On the line, you got 78. Let's see, that's Victor Saez, number 82, Tristan Lester, who is also a freshman. Can't see some of those other numbers. 77, which is a sophomore. And these are big freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah,
these are not little guys. I have several of those guys in my class. They're not small. I don't want to be on the line against them. They might break my brittle bones.
Hey, in all fairness, the seniors beat the teachers in the tug of war this week during homecoming week, so they showed some strength there. They did get whooped at volleyball, macho volleyball. The teachers showed the seniors how to play some macho volleyball, but the seniors did come out on top of the tug of war.
Well, Mrs. Baldonado, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know about
she may have single-handedly won that one for the teachers.
Yeah, nobody else needed to be on the
her serves were just aces every time. Though,
Did you watch her look down the line and place the ball?
Yeah, right where she wanted it.
Yeah. Like she had a measuring tape in her eyes and said that's where it's going.
I do think the fan favorite may have been your neighbor, your classroom teacher neighbor.
Oh, Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Wallace was a fan favorite.
Yeah, he was
pulled those pants up. He rolled his pants up to his knees, pulled his soccer socks up. I think he thought he was playing soccer. He used his hands when he had to, but in between plays, he kicked that ball like a soccer star every time in between.
He did, didn't he?
He did every time. He was turning it. He was bending it like Beckham and everything, man. He was a soccer player through and through, but he could use his hands when he needed to. He got a couple of good spikes on those seniors. So I heard afterwards, they're like, man, Wallace was not nice to those seniors, spiking it on them. And it was like,
that's one of the things that they need. Right after the seniors went 2-0 in their volleyball matches, you got to put them back in their place, right? You got to let them know, hey, I might be older, but I'm still going to take you down.
You may have won. You may have won against the other ones, but don't think you're all the bee's knees yet. All right, here we go. 11:09. The officials. There was a timeout. The Eagles want to talk about it a little bit after that penalty. It looked like Holbrook declined the penalty. There was a penalty against Pinyon. Holbrook declined it and bring it up 2nd and 10 instead of what would have been a 1st and 15.
Is that one of those opportunities that basically Holbrook is saying, no, we're not gonna do that to you guys. Let's just play some football.
You can look at it two different ways, right? Sometimes a penalty, at least it's to be 1st down still, but you're back 5 yards. But I'm with you on that one. I definitely think it was more of a mercy point at that point of, no, you don't need to go back 5. Let's keep playing football. There's the snap, going to be kept up the middle. There's a gang of Roadrunners once again, ready to catch him. He's going to get maybe a half a yard, going to bring up 3rd and 9, a long 9 for the Eagles. But once again, that front 4 for the Roadrunners doing his job. You saw those linebackers kind of crack down like they were ready to help with the tackle, but the job was done. You had big number 60 there for the Roadrunners, Caden Tom leading the charge right there, and number 70, Manuel Baca. Between number 60 and number 70 right there, you're up against a pretty good size front line.
And on the carry, that was number 33, Owen Benali, who's a junior at 140 pounds. Well, he just got tackled by more than double his weight.
Victor Saez, he's lining up as end. He's going to get to the far. He's going to move to the far side this time. Oh, but caught in the backfield. Number 3, Mason Archunda coming off the end, going to catch the quarterback in the backfield. There is a flag on the play. I'm not sure exactly where that came from the head linesman over there. But they're going to call it a holding against the Eagles. So we'll see what Holbrook does here. If they go ahead and decline again, they could march it back 10 yards from there, or you may just take the loss of down. Holding.
And I saw over there, and I did see
and it is declined.
Coach Starkey wave his hands to decline.
Which brings up 4th and about 12, maybe 13 even, for the Eagles. So that will bring up a punting situation most likely for the Eagles. Sometimes when they punt, it doesn't look like a punt formation. So, you can get a little bit of trickery in that situation as well. But this definitely looks like their punt formation that we've seen before. And he's going to go right up the center this time. Does get the punt away. Nice high kick. Going to be fielded at the 50-yard line. Makes the first one miss. And he gets to the near side of the field, dodges another diving tackle. If he can get the end, he might take it all the way. Going to be pushed, not strong enough. He gets all the way in. Punt return for a touchdown. Daniel Montijo on that punt return for a touchdown. Fielded it right about the 50-yard line, so a 50-yard punt return takes the Roadrunners up to 36-0. I think the mercy rule, I know the mercy rule in high school is 42 points, but I don't know if they have to wait to second half. All right, we just got the word from our timekeepers up here. They did change the rules, so once Holbrook does get to 42 points, you don't have to wait till second half anymore. Once you get to 42 points, it will be a running clock. It's a mercy rule. So Holbrook won't get there yet, but if Holbrook scores, they're on track to one more touchdown, and even if it's in the first half, that will become a running clock. Struggling,
right
though.
That was Marcus Obrighter on that kick. Hey.
They tried a new one. Now you try.
So, yeah, right. Hey, you haven't done it for, 4 or 5 times now? Let's give the quarterback
now,
a
let's
try.
be honest. Here's what really happened. Marcus went to the sideline and said, why can't you kick it in there? And he said, you give it a try, and now Marcus has to go back and say, okay, it was harder than I thought.
Yeah, so it's a cup of humility, right?
Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. We don't really know.
So today during the carnival that we have at the school.
Yeah.
Right? So we
How
had
was
the
the carnival?
parade, we had the carnival. It was fantastic. I get to give Marcus Obrighter a hard time again. So
always a good day.
They asked me to be in the dunk tank.
Oh.
Well, being
accept?
a teacher, I did accept. I did. I don't think they thought I would.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I
I
did
can
accept.
see that, yeah.
So I was up there.
Taunting
and
him.
I was taunting. I mean, for those listening, Kyle and I, we're brothers-in-law.
Brothers-in-law.
Brothers-in-law. So anyway, we get it. He knows I'm going to taunt him. Anyway, Marcus, who is also a baseball player, steps up with 3 balls.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't sink me.
Nope. No go.
And I don't know what it was.
Did he pay for another round?
No, he only went once.
He accepted defeat, huh?
But there was a young lady that sunk me 5 times
5
out
times?
of 6 balls.
Woo, who is she?
I told him to give her his jersey.
There you go.
Yep. She's sitting down here. I saw her earlier.
We
I
need
don't
to sign
know
her
her
up for
name.
the baseball team. Apparently, maybe softball team. We got to get softball team.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so Holbrook, after that kickoff, Pinyon gets to start on their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:30 to go here in the first half. Again, this is one of those games. It's a fun game to watch. It's a great homecoming matchup. You feel a little bit bad for Pinyon right now, right? Pinyon's kind of, let's get to half. Let's get these guys a break. They have been working their tail off here for, the clock shows it's only been a quarter, but game time, it's been almost an hour. And these guys really haven't got a break. We haven't even seen that many timeouts. Going to get it here to the near side of the field. Going to be tackled after a pickup of about 3, maybe 4. But it's going to be a new ball carrier there. Number 33, Owen Benally there carrying the ball for Pinyon. They call it Victor Size on the tackle for the Roadrunners. And again, you're seeing about the same. Sometimes what you'll see as you start to get up on a game too is you'll keep your defense in, your first string defense in, and start to work in some of your JV or second string offense. Because right now we're definitely seeing that first string defense on the field, and there you see it come into action right there. Is a great tackle from number 70 and number 76. That's Manuel Baca. And I don't know who 76 is. It's not listed on our roster. Oh, maybe it was 77. No, 78. Victor Size. Victor Size in there as they get a big sack against the Eagles. Going to drop him back after the gain. Now we're looking at a 3rd and 14.
It looks like number 5 is still out.
Which is really a bummer to see. But also probably smart for him, like as you talked about earlier. There we go, in the backfield, Holbrook again. This time he's able to evade the tackle. Get the pass off. It's going to be complete. Not good enough for a first down, but pass is complete to Ken Whitehorse. So the backup quarterback completes the first pass of the game for the Pinyon Eagles. Going to bring up a 4th and manageable, right? Now we're looking at 4th and 5 instead of what we had before with the 3rd and 14. Do you punt if you're the Eagles down 36, or do you go ahead and try to get a first down? I say go for the first down.
I'd say go for it. And they did put, I should know, Mr. Haskin in there, you know, as a leader for this 4th and 5. And I'm rooting for him to get this first
I gotta
down.
be honest.
I really want him to get it.
Holbrook is going to run Taden Cowboy back to take a punt if it does come. And he tries to punt it, but he does like a drop kick, and it doesn't get it. It goes off of his defensive line, off the feet of the offensive line. And we have a player down again. I hate to see 2 players down. Maybe just slow to get up.
I think it is number 5 again.
Yep, it was number 5. Good call. Joey Haskin comes back in and slow to get up. He does get up, though, and he's going to stay in. Let's see if the coach says, no, come on off. I see a substitute coming in. That's exactly what they're going to do. Coach Haskin trying to say, I'm okay, Coach. I'm okay, Coach. And Coach says, no, we want to keep you for future games as well. So, you know, that's one of those risks, right? They went tried the punt. Even the punt had a little bit of an issue, and so now Holbrook takes over 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Men in motion for Holbrook. They're going to go ahead and pitch it to number 26 in motion, 28. Kyle Smith. He's the speedster we've seen a couple times this season, and he gets his turn as he takes it in for a 38-yard touchdown on first down for the Roadrunners, and that should do it. That should take us to our 42-point running clock. Mercy rule starts here with 6:53 to go here in the first half. I got to be honest, you know, aside from the game, it's nice to hear the fireworks back tonight.
It is. It is. They tried the cannon.
We couldn't hear it in the booth.
We couldn't hear the cannon. I don't know if anybody else heard it. Couldn't hear the cannon, but they're lighting off fireworks. And I know for those out there with your pets, with your animals, I know it's not fun sometimes with those loud booms, but here in the stands, it's a lot of fun.
So Holbrook's going to come back. Izzy Ramos back as kicker. There we go. Izzy Ramos. He's like, yeah, you had your fun, Marcus. It's my turn again. So here we go. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is no good again. Pushes it left. So Holbrook having the hardest time tonight getting that point after try. But they will lead 42-0 here at 6:08 to go here in the first half of this game. And again, that will start that running clock once we get that kickoff underway. And it is going to be number 72 for the Roadrunners. That's Malachi Johnson. As he gets the tee, he's going to be kicking out. He's doing kickoff duty. So Izzy Ramos is getting point after try duties, but Malachi Johnson is getting kickoff duties for the Roadrunners tonight. Come on, team, let's go. Hearing that fight song, roll on again. The fight song, I was a percussionist. I can't say that. I was not a percussionist. I was a drummer in high school, and it was always fun playing that fight song because you just get a wail on it. And if I'm telling stories on myself that I shouldn't, one night they dared me to see if I could hit the drum so hard that I'd break the drum head. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Well, I succeeded. I broke a drum head. But then I thought, I went to my teacher. I said, hey, I need a new drum head. So I went to go get a new drum head, replaced the drum head, and I said, you think I can do it twice? And I broke 2 drum heads in one night, and I got in big trouble over that. So it's not always good getting to play the fight song too many times. It could tempt you into doing things you shouldn't do.
Now, I don't know this, but was your dad your teacher in that moment?
No, he wasn't, luckily.
I don't know that.
I'd have been in big trouble at the time. Yeah, my dad was a music teacher here for many years, but he was actually he taught at the college. He taught at NPC by that time. So Mr. Hill was my band teacher at the time. He actually this is a sad story too, he only taught for 4 years, high school at all. We were his first teaching job. He taught from my freshman year to my senior year, and then he quit teaching and he went into the military.
Oh. It was easier to deal with them than it was with you? Is that what
That's
you're
exactly
saying?
right. That's exactly right. I don't feel good about it per se, but I think that was exactly right. He's a military lawyer, right? He's not just in the military. He's a military lawyer doing very well for himself now. He's a JAG in the military, they call him. And actually, not to tell him too much, I just saw a little while ago that he ordered one of those new Tesla trucks. He was pretty excited about that. Yeah. Hasn't got it yet because they haven't shipped. But
is that the one with the unbreakable, breakable windows?
Exactly. That's the right one.
Okay.
So Pinyon getting pinned back on that kickoff. They start deep in their own territory, and on first down, they get into a deeper hole as they're tackled for about a 4-yard loss. Going to bring up 2nd and 14 from the. Looks like they're going to mark that down about the 14-yard line, 16-yard line. But that clock is rolling. We like to see that at this point. Now we're approaching 4 minutes left to go here in the half. Eagles quarterback, is that Haskin in again?
It is.
Haskin is back in at quarterback, though. And he's looking to throw again. And he's going to be caught in the backfield, but he sneaks away, breaks one tackle, and a shoestring tackle there for the Roadrunners. And both of them are a little slow to get up. The tackler and Haskin. Haskin, he just got him by the ankle, and I think that ankle is what Haskin has been favoring all night. But he is able to he is limping pretty hard, but Haskin is back up at him. He's going to be tackled for about a 1-yard loss. Going to bring up 3rd down and 15. But he almost broke that one. I mean, that Holbrook defender, he just got his hand on his foot and maybe not even tackled him had his foot already been hurting him.
And then he started doing the worm.
I don't think he was doing the worm to gloat, though. I don't think it was a.
I'm gonna talk to Victor on Monday. Victor, Monday, 5th hour.
Be ready.
We're talking.
Haskin gonna total draw play there. He pulls back to pretend like he's gonna throw for a second, but pulls the ball in and runs to the outside, and he's gonna be tackled right at the line of scrimmage, and gonna bring up 4th down, and well, it'll feel like an eternity when you're pinned back against your own goal line like that. We'll see if they can get a punt off this time. Clock is ticking away, under 3 minutes now. We're at 2:48 to go here in the half. But I'm excited for halftime festivities. It's always fun at homecoming because, you get your normal halftime entertainment, sometimes a little extra pizzazz with it, but the crowning of royalty, right? Homecoming royalty. Do you remember who your homecoming king and queen was when you were in high school?
I believe, if it wasn't Megan Kerr and Landon Young, I don't know who it would have been.
Who else could it have been?
And I doubt they're listening tonight, but both great people.
Yeah.
Awesome people, in fact. Megan's mom is now in the state legislature.
Oh, nice.
Landon he's a firefighter down in the valley with a wonderful family. He's a great.
Did they marry each other?
Guy. No, they did not.
Okay,
they did not.
It wasn't a match made in homecoming.
Well, they dated. They dated.
All right.
And
classic high school.
Absolutely. He was a jock. He was the football player. Big tough guy. All of that kind of stuff. She was a basketball player.
Oh.
And
the sports, the athletes.
Yes, athletics and very intelligent as well. And here we have the Holbrook passing over to number 9, Chase Sammy, for another touchdown. And Chase was by himself. There wasn't anybody over on that side of the field.
Got left all by himself. He takes it in. 48-0 now. Holbrook leading. Again, they're not stopping that clock for anything now. They're going to let that clock run down even after the touchdown. They may stop it after the point after try. Some of that stuff becomes gray area for the timekeeper. You're really trying to play that mercy rule as much as possible, right? Try to, Pinyon's in trouble right now, right? They're down by so much. They're losing the players, a couple players hurt. You still want to finish this game. You want to be proud of what they're able to do tonight, but you definitely want to get this over with for them so they don't get any more injuries. And that could be the first one of the night. It is. Holbrook gets their first PAT of the night. I believe that time it was Izzy Ramos.
Is that the biggest cheer we've heard of the night as well?
You're absolutely right.
Everybody has been impressed by that kick.
We've all been anticipating, how many times you're going to try that PAT. And this time they get it. The score will be 49-0, and they will stop the clock there. Just because, you can go back to after a change of possession like that, you're allowed to go back to your coaches and talk for just a second, get a drink. And how important is that for a team like Pinyon right now? This is not a lot of a break, but take as much of the break as you can. And they actually didn't take too much of a break. They must know halftime's right around the corner. Let's get to halftime.
They know that, and they also know we're in it. What good is it going to do to us right now to go over there? Maybe they just want to be done. Maybe they just want to keep playing.
Yeah, could be. once this kicks off again, I don't anticipate the clock will stop again before halftime. So there's the clock has started. It's a good kick this time. Going to get a good Holbrook bounce. Bounces out at the 20-yard line, though, so that is a penalty. And that will, they're going to go ahead and stop the clock. You hate to have the clock be a running clock and stop in a dead time. Right? At least one, we get a playoff.
Right. That's a good point.
So the timekeeper is going to, make sure that they can at least get a playoff instead of having it run out in the middle of, nothing. But Holbrook, since nobody did touch it before it went out of bounds, that is a penalty called an illegal procedure, and it looks like they have elected to take it at the 35-yard line. So bring that ball up to the 35, where the Pinyon Eagles will take over 1st and 10. 40 seconds to go in the half with a running clock. We're talking, you're going to need a one-play hit, one-hit wonder right here. You're going to have to break one for a touchdown to be able to do much. They do have their timeouts, and they are allowed to call them even with a running clock. So that is an option. I don't anticipate we'll see that, but I'm wrong about a lot of things, so we'll see how it goes here. One thing I am noticing right now, we aren't seeing number 5, Joey Haskin, in at quarterback right now, so they are going to at least let him rest to finish the half off, it looks like. There's the snap. Gets a little confusion in the backfield. He was looking to hand it off, but his player went to the other side of him, and he's going to get spun around. Looks like Owen Benally there was in at quarterback. Gets turned around, tries to make something out of nothing, and he's going to get dropped for a loss. And that's gonna do it for us for the half. It looks like we're now under 10 seconds. 5 and 4. There we go. Yeah, the teams are just heading to their sides, and that will end the first half of action here. Roadrunners leading 49-0 over the Pinyon Eagles at halftime. We're going to go ahead and step away from the mic for the halftime, but don't you step away, because there's going to be a lot of great halftime entertainment for you right here at Roadrunner Stadium. Sorry.
Brooks has a UAV. Brooks is unstoppable. Brooks is unstoppable. Brooks is building on me. Brooks is building on me. Brooks is shielding up. Brooks is shielding up. Yeah, he's hitting me. He's hitting me.
We have a 2021 homecoming queen Zoe Daniel could unfortunately not be here this evening due to a volleyball tournament. So escorting Katie is his mother, Madonna.
Welcome back to second half football here at Roadrunner Stadium. Holbrook once again leading 49-0. Coming out of halftime. It was a great halftime. We had a fight song from the lady who wrote the words to the fight song, sang over the PA for the crowd here. The band and the cheerleaders got to play the fight song. The cheerleaders did their halftime routine. They announced royalty. They did. I was talking to Mrs. Meeks, the band teacher, and she was wondering when they announced the princes and princesses. Did you ever hear that announcement happen?
They ended up announcing it a little bit late. I think it was
Gotcha, I
our
missed it.
English teacher, English, if I can speak
English. Can you speak English?
correctly. He caught that
Oh, gotcha.
and
He
called
fixed
them
that.
back out and announced them.
Oh,
And
good.
it
I
was
missed it.
a couple of good kids, Carson Hatch and Josh Pack, and I'm trying to remember the young lady, and I apologize, I can't recall the name.
You guys can rewind back. So Malachi Johnson there on the kickoff. We get the second half underway. Going to roll down. Be scooped up at the 21-yard line. Almost a block at the back there, but good no call as he did get him to the side. But again, number 24 there, Anthony Yazzie, for the Eagles, spent more time running sideways than he did forward. And we do have a flag back here on the play. We'll see what they're going to call for that. Sure hope it wasn't blocking the back, because that was, at least the one I saw, was actually a good block. It was from the side. Let's see if they shuffle it. I don't know.
The penalty was declined according to our announcer.
Which tells us it was against the Eagles, because that's what the Roadrunners have done here basically since the second quarter, is decline any penalties that the Eagles have got. It's one of those signs of sportsmanship, as you mentioned earlier. No need to put them any farther back on the field. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles, right at their own 20-yard line. Looking at an 80-yard football field ahead of them. Let's see if they can put together a drive here to start the second half. Snap, good handoff right up the middle. And great push by the Holbrook defensive line. They're going to wrap him up right there at the line of scrimmage, going to bring up second down.
You know, the number that I don't see on the field or on the sidelines right now is number 5 for Pinyon.
You know, now that you say that, when the game started, Pinyon had 5 players on the sideline, you know, ready to be called into the game. And right now there are 3 players, white jerseys, sitting on that sideline. So, yeah, I hope he's okay. Then, you know, they may have kept him in the locker room just a little bit longer, or, you know, or hopefully not worse.
Actually, I believe a Pinyon player is being carted off in the ambulance right now.
Oh, dang, you hate to see that. We are going to have a false start called against the Eagles. And that's a dead ball penalty. They're not actually giving the Roadrunners a chance to decline. Okay, there they go. I think they went ahead and let the Roadrunners decline it, because that is a penalty you can decline. And again, the Roadrunners did decline it. So it will stay second down and 10. As an official, you're like, well, I'm going to stop calling them. Huh?
Right? If you don't want them, we're going to stop calling them. Unless it's going to be potentially dangerous for a player, let's just let it go.
Let's keep it rolling. And the clock will, again, we are at that mercy rule. The clock will continue to run. And again, tried to run it right up the middle, going to be stopped by that great, strong defensive line for the Roadrunners. And it does look like Holbrook has maintained that first-string defense. Again, a lot of times you'll see that first-string defense will stay on the field. It'll be interesting to see what we see with the offense. But again, a lot of times you really see that second-string defense step up and do so, stay in the game, is to build that capacity to play a whole game.
Sure.
That's
You don't want
really
them to
what you're
lose
training
that
your players.
focus
Yes.
or anything like that.
You're not trying to be unsportsman, and you definitely want to keep the shutout going, all those things. But really, it's keeping that conditioning of that defense, expecting and knowing how to finish a game, because that can be such a killer when you get against one of those strong teams like a St. John's or one of those later ones.
Right.
And
Well, because there's also the aspect of you know, in today's world, you know, apparently, you know, we don't want to lose. Nobody goes out there to lose. Nobody goes out there to score 0 touchdowns.
for sure.
But at the same time, it is a part of life. And if we can learn to handle those difficult situations right now as high school students, right? The coach is going to talk to these kids, tell them about the good things they did, the things they could have done better,
Yeah.
you know, and really not sugarcoat things, but just try to pick apart things to tell them what they did well on.
And it might be a turnover there as Holbrook went to get it. It bounced through the Holbrook corner hands. I don't think he expected it to be there. It went through his hands, and the Eagle player did recover it. I think that is going to turn into a Eagle football.
He just looked up and the ball fell there.
He's like, "What?"
He didn't know.
Yeah, it was a high punt, kind of a outfielders over the back, and went right through his hands, and that Eagle defender was right there. So Holbrook forces the punt, but Eagles will jump on it quickly, and a good turn of events there for the Eagles.
Yeah, but a zero score at halftime, it can still be good teaching opportunities for any of these young men.
Absolutely. And again, that running clock, look how much farther we are through this third quarter, how fast we are through it. We're already down to almost 3 minutes left here in the third quarter, excuse me. That running clock, it really does. We spent an hour in the first half, and we've only been in the second, and now we've, it's going to be over in minutes. This game will be over in 30 minutes because of that running clock.
Right. And we do see a couple of players from the Holbrook team that we haven't seen before. We've got Jeremiah Chatter in there. At least I don't recall seeing the name, but we are going to have some others there. But here we've got the Roadrunners attacking the backfield again for a loss, and they stop him due to lack of forward progression there.
Absolutely. Anthony Ozzie there couldn't quite handle the snap and got kind of behind. You hate to see that. Number 20, Ken Whitehorse, has to leave the field with an apparent injury. And you feel bad for Pinyon right now. They just don't have that many players to go into the bench. We can't hurt any more players out here. They don't have that many players to draw from. So now we're looking at 2 players left standing on the sideline for Pinyon as substitutes.
And this is also where you see such a difference in athletic play, but in one division, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're in our same division, but I also understand coming from the reservation, one of the reservation schools, they're struggling to get numbers there as well because of COVID.
Their COVID restrictions are much tighter than ours here in Holbrook.
That's right.
And there's been many teams on the reservation that have just canceled their seasons altogether. Again, Pinyon 1-1. They've only played 2 games this season. Again, partially because of that, just there's not as many teams they can play. Holbrook, actually, their last game of the season has been canceled because of that team's football team didn't go this year. Got canceled this year. Holbrook is hoping to replace that game, or they were at one point. I don't know where that stands.
You know what? Play Winslow again.
There you go. I like it. That would be great.
You know what? At the end of the season, play Winslow again.
I don't think Winslow wants to see us again, to be honest. They'd be nervous, I think.
They might be, but we could put – and that's why I want to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Let's play Winslow again. Starkey, are you listening? Let's play Winslow again.
Winslow may have a full schedule, though, too. I don't know, because Winslow's playing in that more traditional 3A program where you're not going to have as many cancellations as we are in 2A. So that is going to be offsides on the defense. That's 2 offsides for the defense on this drive here, and that's going to bring it up to a 3rd and 6. Again, that clock is rolling. We're down to 30 seconds. Again, I don't think you see the clock on our broadcast, so we better do a better job of that here about the clock as we come to the end of this game, because we're at 25 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Looking to pass. Had a man, but the man didn't know the ball was coming to him, so he just kept running. Had he known that was coming, he probably could have turned back and potentially made a play on that ball. But that does bring up 4th down for the Pinyon Eagles. And that clock now under 5 seconds. We're going to go to 4th quarter here in just a minute. I'm not sure anyone on the field even recognizes it yet. The officials does. He's standing over the ball. So there we go. That buzzer you hear means the end of the 3rd quarter. So we are going to have our last quarter of action here. Holbrook leading 49-0. Holbrook, on defense, that whole quarter.
Right.
With that running clock, they run defense. They actually shrank the quarters here in the second half, if you noticed that too.
Oh, I was wondering why. I looked over there and thought, has it really been 7.5 minutes? But it was only 3.
I'm guessing what happened is there was some kind of communication with that Pinyon coach, because that's not traditional. A mercy rule doesn't actually reduce the clock. But, again, Pinyon fighting some injuries right now. Right there, last call, there was 2 Pinyon players left to substitute into the game. You don't want to hurt these players, right? The mercy rule is there not just so you don't feel bad about yourself. It's a protection. It's a form of protection.
And right here, you actually see a lot of very young players come on the field. I noticed that I've been watching number 71. He's in my Spanish class, third hour Spanish class. And I'll go figure, right?
Yeah.
I have a brain malfunction here.
Well, I see a couple of freshmen out there. We have number 5, Christian Lerma. He's a freshman. He's in my guitar class this year. He's one of the stars of the JV football team, though, so he does get a lot of playing time, just not necessarily at the varsity level.
Right. And I'm excited to watch some of these younger players get in there and go after that ball.
Oh, there's the punt. He can't hang on to it again. Almost a turnover again. I do believe he's going to get back on it, but number 44 there for Pinyon. Looks like that's Kobe Benali. He almost got that ball back once again for the Eagles as Holbrook once again had a hard time snagging that that punt return. And that was a younger player on that punt return for Holbrook as well. So yeah, here you go. Offense coming out. We're seeing a good mix, right? We're seeing number 21 again, Caleb Trujillo. We saw him earlier in the game. He's in the backfield this time, but he's also back there with still Marcus Oberreiter and Daniel Montijo. So he's joining a little bit of that varsity lineup, but bringing a guy in with not quite as much experience playing here. And we'll see if he gets the ball. And they do hand him the ball, but the play does get blown dead. Oh, you hate to see that. Caleb, Caleb must be excited. He was excited to get his hands on that ball again tonight.
His wheels were moving.
They were. He wanted his own touchdown tonight. But they're going to mark that back 5 yards, make it 1st and 15. Ball now back on the 40-yard line for the Roadrunners.
You know, and I did mention, just in case we do have anybody from Pinyon listening here, I did mention there was a Pinyon player leaving in the ambulance. They didn't leave, so maybe he's being checked out, making sure, maybe, you know, just maybe some medicine or things to help out, but really hope he is okay.
So number 21, Caleb Trujillo, does get the ball. After the penalty, they go ahead and hand it to him again. He's going to pick up about 2 on that carry. Going to bring up 2nd down and 13 for the Roadrunners. And we're going to have another line shift. Caleb Trujillo will stay in, though. But quite the line shift there for the Roadrunners. Almost a full team shift there. Not sure who exactly came on. We'll have to look down our numbers. In fact, there's a number on there, 22 out there, who's not even listed on the roster. So he might be one of those JV players that doesn't traditionally get to dress varsity even.
22 tonight is actually Tayton Begay.
Oh, that's right. I called that earlier.
I believe Tayton is normally maybe another number. Anyway, Holbrook's in, and Holbrook is going down. Mr. Caden Tom on the carry, and he goes and he does take a knee.
So good job there for Caden Tom. That's a big boy. That's not normally an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Sometimes in these positions, you let him have a carry, but with that great coaching, that instruction is you don't run this one in, right? You can run it, but when you get down there close, you go ahead and take a knee. You know, and
can that be looked at as in different ways, though, right? Do you just score the ball and just keep the game moving, or do you kneel the ball and say, you know, here's another chance? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm battling in my own mind.
For sure. They hand it to number 60 again. He fumbles it this time, though, as he gets up the middle. I do believe he was able to fall back on it himself. But he is keeping that clock moving there. So the clock is now approaching 4 minutes to go here in the ball game. Another line shift coming in. Looks like Izzy Ramos coming back out. And number 60, who's carried the last 2 plays, Caden Tom, he's going to come to take a breather again. Looks like they're going to go for a field goal. So, yeah, that's what I honestly thought they were going to do that last time. A lot of times what they'll do when you're up really high on a team like this is instead of running in the touchdown, you set up for a field goal. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. And it's good practice for your team, right? It's not just a point after try, but it's a field goal try. Kick is blocked, and that's a live ball. So it's picked up by the Eagles, and he's going to be brought down after a short return. But that's one of those good practice opportunities because on a point after try, as soon as you kick the ball's dead. Whether you make it or not, the ball's dead as soon as he kicks it. Mm-hmm. But on a field goal, that's a live ball. And so you have to, in your brain, recognize this isn't just a PAT, this is a live ball. If he misses it, just like what happened, the Eagles had a chance to return it.
Right. Again, one of those situations that you might not have happen very often in high school football. Going for a field goal, you know, you're not going to see that happen in high school ball unless you really just need those 3 points. Yeah. And so it is good training. good
Absolutely.
good way to break it up and keep that mental agility going during the football game.
And it doesn't feel as unsportsmanlike. I'm not just kneeling down to not score. I'm still going to try to score on you. It's just going to be a different way.
Right.
And there's the snap. He's looking to throw. He's got a man there, but he falls down on the route, and it's going to be a little bit short anyway. So that will bring up a second down. Normally that would stop the clock, but again, running clock. We're now under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the ball game. Holbrook still leading 49-0 as we get ready to wrap up this homecoming week. What a homecoming week it's been again. Seniors, they won the week, you know, the Spirit Week. They had some great opportunities this week to do some fun stuff. They didn't win everything, though, that's for sure. The freshmen actually won the hall decorating, I heard.
Yes, they did.
And that's always fun when the freshmen win any of the competitions. Who won the Powder Puff game?
The Powder Puff game was the sophomores and juniors.
I thought that wasn't even the seniors.
So, on that, 2 fantastic touchdown throws by, I'll take it, a girl in my Spanish class, okay? One of the more girls, honestly, I think it was Macy.
Macy
Maddie
Moore.
was out. But Macy threw 2 touchdown passes in that game. I think it has something to do with my class.
I think for sure, you know. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe that was soccer, Spanish soccer.
No,
Wrong football.
well, it is, but still, it's just being good at something.
There you go. I like it. I
Right?
like it. We'll claim it for sure. And then when it came to the macho volleyball, the seniors did win macho volleyball. So
Yes.
they got a big win. What was after that? Class games? I don't know who won class games.
They did a little bit different this
Yeah.
year. They just said, you get bragging rights. We're not keeping score for this.
It's just fun.
Just have fun. And it was fun.
That's right.
Because I think the freshmen won.
They won quite a bit.
Yeah, they did. The ski board thing where
Uh-huh.
you got to, so it was
Way
fun.
more than you would have thought for those freshmen. You got a good freshman class here at Holbrook High School. Then the next day they had, they get points for dressing up, right? How many people you get dressing up from your class, they get points for that. And the seniors traditionally are less afraid to dress up and be a little silly.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. Keeper there for the Eagles. He's going to get the edge. He's got the corner. And going to be that's probably our best play from scrimmage there for the Eagles tonight, playing against our younger JV squad. But the JV squad holds up. They don't let the Eagles break one here. So good job for that. The second team defense here, still keeping the Eagles under control.
And you see the Eagles getting really excited about this play,
Yeah.
right? I want them to do well.
There's the handoff up the middle. Able to break through again. Going to get another first down. Eagles moving the chains. Moves two times now, but the clock will continue to run. They're fighting the clock just as much as anything at this point. Under 20 seconds. Ball right at the 45-yard line. Clock is a ticking. We're down to 15 seconds. They're probably going to get one last play off because they're not going to blow this thing dead for any other reason at this point. 8 seconds. Here's the last play of the game. Looking to throw. Got a man right there in the flats. He gets him, and he's going to be immediately dropped after catching it, and that's going to do it here from Roadrunner Stadium as your Holbrook Roadrunners take down the Pinyon Eagles 49-0 at the end of this homecoming week. Next week, the Roadrunners are away. They travel to HHS, so we will not be bringing you this game live on Roadrunner Broadcasting, but hopefully we can find it. Maybe HHS will be broadcasting it either on the radio or via internet broadcast there. Pay attention to the Holbrook websites and Facebook. If they find that information, they will share it there for you. Coming the week after that, I believe they're at St. John's. Are we away the next 2 weeks?
I've got it.
Steven's
going to
bring up the schedule for us.
Yep.
Oh,
so
Hopi after that. So we're back home.
I'll just say then Hopi.
I'm back home for Hopi on the
And
9th.
that's a 5 p.m. game
Interesting.
is what's listed.
And Saturday.
Saturday.
That's Saturday the 9th at 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
We'll have to stay tuned for that one. We'll see how we bring that one to you. I may not be here for that one. You may
You
be
might be
here.
having a
You might be
baby
having a
that
baby
weekend,
that
right?
weekend. If
I don't
things
know if
go
I
as
can
planned.
hold this down without you.
Oh, you're
I'll
gonna
do my best.
Nobody will miss me. I think they'll be like, get rid of that guy. Let's keep it here with the Spanish broadcast. All in Spanish.
I'll give it my best.
I love it. But again, thanks for tuning in tonight for Roadrunner Broadcasting. If you've enjoyed the broadcast, let the Holbrook High School and the Holbrook District know how much you appreciate Mike Burks and his team setting up the cameras, running those cameras, a student-led production here tonight. And we've enjoyed bringing it to you here at Homecoming Week. And we'll see you in 2 weeks back here at Roadrunner Stadium as the Roadrunners take on Hopi High School.